For all the best adventures around Australia, head to adrenaline.com.au. Their mission, helping Aussies find and try fun to do. Yeah. Sorry, we had to beep that one out there. We're talking V8 driving experiences, rally cars, F1 style rides, skydiving, jet skis, you name it, we're trying it. There are over 2,500 experiences to choose from, and we're having a hard time picking what we're going to do next.
We're seriously pumped to be partnering with Adrenaline to show you all the epic stuff you could be doing with your weekends. So what are you waiting for? Go find your next adventure at adrenaline.com.au. Make sure you use the code Paddock10 for 10% off your next adventure.
I'm Elle. And I'm Pat, and we are Paddock 43.
And this is your F1 fix. All right, let's talk about tyres. And
Paddock 43 minis are back.
Yes, and we're going to talk about tyres.
Yes.
It's not boring.
No.
It's actually really interesting. It's like
incredibly interesting.
one of the biggest things in an F1 race because it's also the only thing that's touching the road. So it's actually really interesting.
Well, unless there's an issue with the floor or something.
Well, yes. But in that case, the tyres are not doing their job.
The tyres are not doing their job.
In that case, the tyres are probably not even on the car, I would say. So,
true.
Yeah. So this mini, we're going to discuss everything about the tyres, who the tyre sponsor is, what is going on, and all the different compounds.
Yes, all the different things that have to do with tyres because it is a big part of the sport.
Yes, it is.
And sometimes tyres are the only thing that make a race interesting.
Oh, yeah. Massive thing. So if we take it really far back into the basics, so it's 2025 and Pirelli is the official tyre sponsor. They have been for a while, but that wasn't always the case. Back in the 2000s, early 2000s, there were big tyre wars. So it was like Michelin versus Bridgestone. It was, who got the better rubber pretty much. And then in 2005 US Grand Prix, Michelin tyres, they couldn't handle any, of the banking that was happening in the IndyCar races, and 14 cars pulled out before the start and only 6 cars raced. So it provided a big pool of these tyres are not going to be okay for any other race, in particular Formula One.
Yeah.
Which then opened things up.
Yes, it was definitely one of the lowest points in modern F1. So since then F1 were like, nah, we're done. One supplier, level playing field. You're all getting the same thing. Which I think was the best thing to happen to the sport.
Oh, yeah. It was definitely a huge, huge thing that happened to the sport. So then Pirelli, they brought in 3 tyre compounds. Oh, my God, I can't speak this day. They brought in 3 tyre compounds, not compounds to each race, soft, medium, hard, but the thing was those are actually chosen from a pool of 5.
This year was a little bit interesting because they brought another tyre. So Pirelli bring 6 slick compounds for dry weather, labelled C1 through to C6. C1 is the hardest, C6 is the softest. But at each race, only 3 of those are chosen depending on the track.
They actually colour code them as well, which makes it so much easier for fans. So then you can actually see what compound is going past in the car. So you might say, okay, Lewis Hamilton, he's got the white, which means it's a hard tyre. So they last the longest. They're a bit slower off the bat because they take a little bit longer to warm up. But if you're starting with a hard tyre, it's probably assumed you will have a one strategy pit stop. One pit stop strategy.
One stop strategy.
One stop to not let you chance to blow. And if you are yellow, that is the medium tire. So that's more of your all-rounder, good grip, good life. And then red is the soft tire. So that's got the most grip, the fastest lap times, but they wear out really quickly because they are soft.
Perfect for quali and short sprints.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like I mentioned before as well, so 2025 they brought in a 6th compound tyre, so C6, which is ultra soft. So it's designed for certain street circuits. They tested it. A lot of the drivers tested it out in Mexico and Abu Dhabi. And I don't know, I think it might pop up at a few other races this year as well, which will be interesting. And then, of course, we've got the wet tyres.
Yeah, which important to remember that we do have wet tyres. So we have the green, that is intermediate. It's for light rain. When the track is damp, but it is also drying out. But that can also be hard in races like
Silverstone.
Silverstone, where there's different weather systems going on.
Oh.
So one side of the track can be absolutely pouring and the other can be sunny. So then you just
Like what we saw at
"What the hell's
Spa
going on?"
a few weeks ago.
Yeah, Spa also has its own ecosystems going around the track as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can have the blue, which is your full wets. So that's when there's big storms, deep grooves to clear, lots of water, but there's the track is a lot more slower and drying.
Yes. Yeah, so in short, soft is speed, hard is endurance, medium's your all-rounder, and then greens and blues, they keep you safe when it rains.
It's when you said that, just like that, it kind of sounded like you're talking about a condom
Oh,
ad.
yes. Keeps you safe when it rains.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, so the best way to think about it, softs are like a sprinting shoe. Amazing grip, but they wear out very fast. Hards are like hiking boots. They're super reliable. They last a long time, but you're not necessarily setting a world record in them. And then mediums are just that, that all-rounder. But
Yeah, so the hards are definitely going to go for longer. That's when the drivers will put on hard tires on their cars. Well, the pit crew the team will put the hard tires on.
hopefully they do a good job putting them on as well.
Usually see that in a race if it's going to be a one-stop strategy. They do take longer to warm up.
Yes.
Hence the hiking boot reference
Yes.
because you need to warm up your hiking boots so you don't get blisters in them, blah, blah, blah. But the softs are definitely not going to last as long.
Yes. And then pit stops are a gamble. Actually, I did want to say something. A good way to think about this as well. Do you remember Daniel Ricciardo's last race? Last year?
Yes,
Singapore.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a bit of a strain. Basically what they did is they knew there was, I don't know how many laps left, 10 laps left or something. So then they put softs on his car so he could have the fastest lap time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Which I just thought that was literally like a participation award because they were like, well, at least you can get the fastest lap. Like he's going to not even get points, but let's put a pair of softs on him so he gets the fastest lap. That basically is a good explanation of how a soft
Tyre
in
works.
action.
Yeah.
Like
I
a
like
soft in
that.
action.
Yeah.
You can actually get like the fastest lap time, even though you're not in the best car, you're not driving the best. But yes, that's a good one. But thinking about pit stops, it obviously can become a bit of a gamble. Do you undercut, pit earlier for fresh tyres, try to leapfrog, or stay out longer and hope they get stuck in traffic? The undercut is like changing into fresh runners halfway through a marathon while your mate keeps running in one out once. Good analogy.
Good analogy.
Yeah.
I like the runner analogy because obviously runners have a lot of science behind them. You just have to read Shoe Dog, the Nike book, which they actually made into a movie and all of that. It's so interesting to understand how, rubber works, especially under the sole and all the friction that it has on different surfaces. So it's really interesting.
And then think about a car going 300 kilometers an hour.
Exactly. In different conditions, especially if it's heat, especially if it's even if it's new tarmac. 2 years ago, AusGP got new road surface, and that changes things as well.
And the drivers were like, you can feel it.
Yeah, you can notice the difference. So then that leads us into degradation because it's basically how fast the tyres wear out. And this is where really strategy does blow up. We look at Hungary 2024, Lando Norris undercut Oscar Piastri. A lot of people said McLaren favoured Lando, but Stella, their team principal, he pretty much explained it wasn't favouritism. It was pure tyre degradation numbers. So Lando had pace to make the undercut work, and Oscar's tyres were already degrading a lot faster, and so they weren't going to survive if he pitted earlier. So that's when degradation can really change the strategy. Oscar was winning.
And change the course of the race.
And it changed the course of history.
Change the course of history. I don't know if you remember as well Silverstone 2020. So there was Hamilton, Bottas and Sainz.
Yeah.
They all got punctures on their final laps and Hamilton literally won the race on 3 wheels. That's like literally how dramatic and fragile those tyres can be.
I know. Well, they heat up really quickly as well. They get
Very
fucking hot. And actually, that being said, we have that we don't essentially have them, but in F1, they have tyre blankets and they put them on the tyres before the race to warm up the tyres as well, just to give that little bit of advantage. Now, with new regulations coming, we won't see tyre blankets.
We will not be seeing tyre blankets
so
at all.
it is a very interesting one, the tyre blanket thing. You'll definitely see it in colder climate races. I think Canada and where else is it cold?
Many places. Yeah.
Silverstone, many places.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it kind of depends.
it
on
depends on the weather,
yeah.
really.
Like Silverstone, very cold. Zandvoort, very cold. But yeah.
Yeah, so they're not just boring pieces of rubber. And, F1 is trying to be sustainable, net zero 30, whatever it is, 2030 that they're trying to do. So a lot of the teams, they only have 2 sets of tyres per race, per driver. And the tyres can't be reused after that. They're pretty much gone. So Pirelli actually send them off to a factory. And they get repurposed and reused. It's all like recyclable. And then that gets put back into materials to build roads.
Yeah.
So there's like lots of little like sustainable initiatives that they're all doing there.
Yeah, it actually is insane though, because every race weekend, hundreds of tyres are used.
Oh, they're gone. And then they're gone after that.
Yeah.
Goodbye,
It's
tyres.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah. So that's the tyres. So we're going to jump on out of here and we'll see you guys next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
If your business needs a new van, ute, or an entire fleet, stop wasting your time with a bunch of red tape at car yards or banks.
Nero Financial specialises in helping Aussie businesses gear up with smart, tailored vehicle solutions.
From tradies needing a new workhorse to companies looking to upgrade or expand their fleet, Nero brokers are the finance pros who understand exactly what you need. They work with over 90 lenders, including banks and specialist commercial lenders, to find options that match your cash flow, business structure, and tax planning, not things that match what they want.
They can even help you source the vehicle, negotiate the price, and handle every bit of paperwork. Get your business moving with the right finance. Call Nero on 1300 025 949 or head to nerofinancial.com.au/Paddock43 to get started.
I know if I ever see the light, I'll be up in the club.